Ready? Welcome aboard, ladies and gentlemen. Week 7 recap show, Sunday edition. We are live from Gary Swallow's Taekwondo Martial Arts here in Opelousas, Louisiana. Beautiful Sunday to talk some high school football. No Saints today. They got the butts kicked on Thursday night. So we got the day to refresh this weekend and get everything in order and talk some great high school football storylines from week 7. The storylines are being written as we speak. A big week 8 awaits, ladies and gentlemen. Rematch from last year's. Got a lot of rematches from last year's Instant Classics. Gonna be brewing these next couple of days. But week 7, what a treat it was. We had some marquee matchups across the state of Louisiana. We saw some big-time statement wins across the state of Louisiana. Whenever I can paraphrase and talk about this week, Gary, it goes to teams made statements here in week 7 and really separated themselves as we make this playoff push. Only 3 weeks away, Gary. I mean, we're here. We're at the final stretch. It's going to come down to these next few weeks for teams that are on the bubble, teams that are on the outside looking in. You got some work to do, and if you want to lock in a first-round bye, you want to lock in a first-round playoff game, this is crunch time. It's time to kick things into high gear, and this is where teams start to really go for the road to the dome.
This is where everybody's going to start positioning themselves for those brackets, because we're going to be looking at that hard the rest of the year to see who's where and what's going to happen with positioning, because, man, one loss could hurt you. One injury could affect your year. It's a lot of ifs, ands, and buts that's going to be happening within the next 3 weeks. So, man, I'm excited.
And you talk about the next 3 weeks. These games have so much meaningful purpose these next couple weeks, because we will have district showdowns for the ages. We will still have some homecoming games even going on later on into the season like this. And we will also get our first glimpse of who will the undefeateds be after week 8. We saw who came out of week 7. A lot of undefeateds fail. But week 8, guess what? We got more undefeated matchups to look into, and we have one locally. That's going to be a big one.
That's going to be a big-time game. I can't wait to see it.
But Gary, as we look at week 7, my man, you looked at the scores, you looked at some big wows across the state, upsets, headliners. A lot has put on paper here for us to talk about tonight, but your initial thoughts of week 7?
My initial thoughts was, man, there was some games that basically exceeded their expectations. Some didn't do it, some not so much. Some didn't live up to the hype. But overall, I mean, it was a great high school, high school Thursday and Friday night. And man, I tell you what, it's getting tighter because we had some great matchups, and we're going to talk about them. But man, we're looking forward to having some more coming up. But this week I had a couple teams that said, not so fast, we're still here. And we'll talk about them in there.
Gary, how great is high school football this time of the year when you know the cooler weather has moved in? You know the football is red hot right now. And you know the games that we go to the rest of the way, my friend, we're going to see some really good football teams that are well coached.
Oh, right. And, it's going to help. The beginning of the years, we see conditioning, cramping, and everything like that. You're not going to see that very much now because of the weather. The weather's going to be a lot cooler, and you're going to see all that. But, man, from now on, it's going to be some high-quality high school football.
And you start to think to yourself, we very well could cover a team or two the rest of the way that could very well be playing for the state championship.
Most definitely. In the next few weeks, we're going to actually have a chance to do that. Yes. And I'm looking forward to it.
You're right, my friend. As the playoffs gear up down the road, we shift gears ourselves, and the playoff push has never been hotter. And it seems like 7 weeks have flown by.
You're right. It's like before you know it, we're going to be sitting in the dome in the end zone watching some great games. It's unbelievable.
But before we get to there, I want to see these next
Oh.
7 weeks play out.
Yes, I want to really see, the playoffs are the playoffs, but I want to see what's going to happen in the next 3 weeks for people to position themselves. You know that they're going to be thinking about that. If we win this game, we could be here. If we win this game, we could be here. We got to make sure. So it's going to be a revolving door as far as which team's going to be making it higher or lower. They playing for a purpose now.
Gary, we had big-time football games all over the state of Louisiana. You had overtime football in New Orleans
Right.
on Saturday.
Yeah.
You had the Battle of Baton Rouge on Friday night, Gary.
Yes.
You had the battle in District 5A up north between Neville and Ruston. What a classic those
You
three
know,
were.
All I can say is that was some big wows this weekend. Those 3 games you're talking about in particular. We looked at them one way, they went the other way. We split, we did. It was just amazing to see how these high school teams fought and scratched, and they just said, "Hey, we're here," and they may meet again in the playoffs. Some of them.
Gary, we did a top 5 earlier in the week for our Wednesday night shows. We talked about who would be some of those teams in the top 5. Well, come this Wednesday night, there will be a lot of shift in the rankings.
A lot of new ones.
A
Yes.
lot of teams will fall out.
Yeah.
A lot of teams will move in. But you got to consider a team that not going anywhere, and it's the Letcher Bulldogs.
Oh yeah,
My friend, they had a
yeah.
signature win over E.D. White
Yes,
Friday night.
most definitely. They're not going anywhere. They're going to stay right where they're at. And there's a couple other teams we'll talk about as they come up. But I'm going to tell you right now, it's amazing to see how these guys are starting to build their way, and they're rising to the top. They were always kind of strong, but now they're making a statement to where we're staying here.
You had teams celebrating homecoming wins.
Right.
You had teams celebrating win number 1 of the season.
Right.
So a lot of congratulations all across the state of Louisiana for myself, you, the rest of the panel. You love to see weeks like week 7.
And we'll talk about one, especially a local team that got their first win, this week, and that was
2 of them.
Yeah, actually, that's true, 2 of them. And I'm just excited for them because I hate to say it, I've been on that side. You don't want to go over. You want to realize what it is. You want to get that monkey off your back and win one. And we got a couple of them. We'll talk about that.
Gary, we got contenders all over this page here.
Most definitely.
It's time to start narrowing things
You
down.
got a few other ones in there too.
It's time to start narrowing things down these next couple weeks and saying, okay, these 5 to 10 are gonna make dome pushes.
Most definitely.
But Gary, we got a big time fan base watching right now. 31 of them on a Sunday.
That's awesome.
Choosing to follow this recap show. Hey, if you got a big time winner from Thursday, Friday, or Saturday, shout them out in the chats at this time. If your team picked up a big win, if your favorite player or a family member had a big time stat line, leave it in the chat. We would love to find out all of the great details from week 7, my friend.
Or just send us something about that happened maybe with your team, some person, just keep us informed of what's going on.
Gary, we talk about the games that we did cover this past week, Thursday and Friday. You got to start with the Iota Bulldogs and the Westlake Rams, my friend.
You're right.
What a classic that was that we got to witness up close and personal.
I'm gonna tell you, when you have the opportunity to call a game
For the very first time.
for the very first time, that's a special thing, and I wish I could have been there, but unfortunately, work is work.
Yeah.
But man, I was excited. I got a chance to watch both games.
Mm-hmm.
After work, I had a chance to sit down in the office, and I actually sat down and watched both games. And I mean, y'all had some quality games that y'all called, guys.
Yeah,
That's all I can say.
Thursday was a classic. Friday was a statement.
Right.
So Thursday we would say classic.
Friday
we would
statement. Yeah.
But Gary, I got to read off a stat line for you from Thursday night. The
What's that?
environment was absolutely nuts. First time at Iota, won't be the last.
Oh no, great atmosphere over there. I just noticed from years past. I know Iota's the Iota Stadium is a hard place to win at, and boy, that's a game of games, you know.
Yeah. Thank you to Coach O'Quinn. All the hospitality that was shown. Can't wait to get back in the future. How about quarterback super senior Peyton Renfro? He went 12 for 19, 168 yards through the air, 2 touchdowns, my friend. That wasn't even the best part about it. He also had 19 attempts in the rushing department, 126 yards on the ground, 2 touchdowns. He led the team in rushing also. But they had a receiver, Jace Latcher, that went for 7 receptions, 137 yards, 1 touchdown. But I think the storyline of the night had to have been from the defensive tackle, number 48, Trevor Ruffner. He had a blocked extra point for the deciding win. 28-27 was the final score. He had the blocked extra point, and then whenever Westlake had the ball, had a chance to go down the field and win it, he had the 4th down sack also. Ruffner made his presence known in the 4th quarter.
When you see games like that, it makes you just, first of all, you hate for a team to have to lose, because I mean when they play, both teams play so good, but man, that just makes it exciting. And you know, win or lose, you can't hold your head. You know, you can't hold your head down, because I mean that was just such an awesome game.
Yeah.
And like you say, and somebody has to win a game.
Yeah.
You know.
And a crazy environment like that, that one right there had overtime written all over it, but Ruffner had other plans.
You're right.
Gary, we go to Friday, and we got to cover St. Ed's Sacred Heart, a great rivalry over the years. We saw it 2 years ago, and it lived up to the hype, but on Friday, this one right here was completely dominated by the St. Ed's Blue Jays, led by super senior quarterback Kane West. He put on a clinic, 7 touchdowns accounted for. Gary had 6 through the air, 1 rushing. It was a record-breaking night from the quarterback. He found his receiver, number 7, 4 times. He found number 11 twice, and he even ran one in. Also, 5 2-point conversions. The flyover before the game was outstanding. The front 7 from defense was insane. It was a complete effort from St. Ed's, and that offense is really good.
I didn't really expect that that type of game. I thought it was going to be nip and tuck, back and forth. But boy, talk about a statement that St. Edmunds made. They said, "Hey, you know, we're here and we're good.
Stop disrespecting us."
That's right, pretty much.
Right. Gary, had some games on this past week that we did not cover on Wednesday night that I would like to mention at this time. Give out some scores.
Got some good ones in there.
Got some good ones in here. I'd like to give some shout outs to those teams. Big wins across the state of Louisiana. Glenbrook knocks off Lincoln Prep 24-20. Central Private gets an 8-0 win at home over Varnado. Impressive, good defense on Thursday night.
Yeah.
Congratulations there. LaSalle beats Northwood Lena 36-28. Gator picks up a big win over Thrive Academy 28-22. Congratulations to the Bears.
Thrive seems to be getting better as the years go by. They've been getting better.
Young program.
Yeah.
Montgomery knocks off St. Mary's 20-14. That's a big win for Montgomery. North Lake Christian knocks off an undefeated Pope John Paul 27-21. We talked about it earlier in the show.
Wow.
Undefeateds have fallen here in week 7. That's one of them. Sari T. Reed knocks off Metairie Park Country Day 12-7. De La Salle in a classic with Landry Walker 31-30.
Oh wow, that must have been great.
Close one. Thomas Jefferson knocks off Young Audience 20-13. Not familiar with Young Audience yet. We have to do our homework. Jefferson Rise, we saw them guys earlier in the season when they played Baker. They get a big win over Patrick Taylor, 22-20.
Yeah, because that was a good game that you covered against Baker. Right.
Bel Air knocks off McKinley 14-8. West Feliciana knocks off Bruley 35-28. How about St. Charles loses to Legacy, the school? This is an out-of-state opponent. 34-28, they fall in 4 overtimes.
Wow, that is amazing.
Comets fall, but man, they played some close games this year.
You're right.
They've been on the other end of some close ones. Laranger and Archbishop Hannon in an absolute shootout. Final score, Laranger 50, Hannon 49.
Wow, oh my goodness.
So that was a lot of offense right there, right?
Yeah, there was no defense on that game.
Well, here comes a lot of defense.
Okay.
Covington beats Slidell 7-6.
Oh my God. Wow, that's all you can say. Those games go from running all around like that, watching that, and that's exciting. But when you see a defensive struggle where, oh man, that's kind of exciting too. I like them both.
One more 1-point game for you. Evangel knocks off Benton 33-32. Controversy at the end. Benton looks like they scored the go-ahead 2-point conversion. Referee late call, blows it, no good. If you see the video on the replay, you're going to be stunned on that 2-point conversion. 33-32. Evangel walks out of Benton with a win.
That's kind of...
You have to show you the video later.
Yeah, I'm going to have to look at that.
I'll let you have your judgment. I have my judgment.
Okay, we'll look at it.
HL Bourgeois knocks off Thibodeau 21-14. Some great games across the state of Louisiana, Gary.
Yeah.
And this did not even make it to our week 7 pick show.
Right.
We got 60 games that we get to choose from every single week, right?
Right, correct.
And those were definitely could have been in consideration in the 60 this last year. We wanted to recognize them.
Could have easily been in there, yes.
So Gary, we got some chats flying in real quick. Let's go acknowledge some big time performances.
Yes.
Coach's wife says number 0. Absolutely. I got some big time numbers from him from the game on Thursday night. Patrick Fry says Jennings with a big shutout win over South Bow. The Bulldogs get Notre Dame next Thursday night.
Right.
Jennings, Pios, boy.
That's going to be a game.
Sign me up. I want to watch that one. What else we have? Showing some love to Kevon Johnson. Miss Como says, still love my hounds. They fart, but came up so short. Yes, with the injuries that have piled up for Welsh, the effort on Friday night and losing a close ball game, man, those kids rallied and those kids played their hearts out.
You're right, George.
Daniel Scully says, number 4, Kyrian Prier says, Pierre, I can't say the name, Gary.
Let's see, where we at?
Had a great game for Marksville, 150 rushing yards, 3 touchdowns. Glad to see him healthy again. He's been dealing with nagging injuries. Got to get healthy this time of the year, right?
Right, most definitely.
This is the crunch time. You got to get healthy and make a push for the playoffs.
Yeah.
Miss Tammy says, Oberlin played an awesome game. It was a very good game for such a small team of 23-ish that are on the Tigers ball club. Not much depth, but they play hard.
Oh, most definitely. They've always done that. The numbers have always been smaller as far as the size of their team.
13-ish, she's saying.
Wow.
So only 13-ish, not 23. That's even more impressive. To still find ways to win games with not much depth at all that you can turn to on the sideline.
You're right, Jordy, man. That is that's amazing that they can stay, because you have some people get hurt. Oh man, you're in
a bind. But those 13 are rallying and they're trying to finish this thing strong.
Yeah. And they sure can.
Miss Pam says Westminster Christian Academy Opelousas is firing it up. Yes, big time homecoming win. They lit up the scoreboard on Friday night, and they got a shot to roll these next couple of weeks and set up a huge Week 10.
Yeah, boy, I tell you what, that's it. And I'm predicting it. I think they're going to probably both go in there undefeated and look out.
Well, not undefeated, but on a winning streak.
On a winning streak. Yeah, I'm sorry. I get ahead of myself sometimes.
There you go.
Yeah.
Mr. Olson says Bunky over Buckeye. Yes, Bunky is a team to beat right now. And week 8, we will find out where Bunky stands as they have the big time clash with Gina.
Yeah, that's going to be a great ball game. Man, that atmosphere is going to be, they're going to be rocking over there, because I know how Bunky is at home. We know how Gina is at home. Man, and they travel well. So that's going to be an awesome, awesome ball game.
Coach's wife said also the Raiders with a 38-13 win over Church Point. Very, very statement-ish on Thursday night to send a message to the district, to the state of Louisiana. Kevon's stat line: 29 carries, 202 on the ground. He now has 1,200 plus on the ground, 118 carries, and 13 TDs on the season, and only played 5.5-ish games with the JV playing second half of those contests. Phenomenal talent, and he's got a heck of an offensive line in front of him, so the sky's the limit for the Raiders.
Right, you're right.
Stephen Christian says JVN vital, always doing big things for Hamilton Christian. Yes, he's a man on the mission. And Gary, right now Hamilton Christian's in the driver's seat, and he is the one on the gas pedal.
Yeah, he's the one that's controlling everything. He's setting it forward. So look out, Hamilton Christian's going to be a hard team to beat.
Rogue is in the chat. Just watched Detroit win. Damien says Jennings over LCA stunned him, but it was not that matchup. Jennings beat South Bow. Notre Dame beat LCA, so maybe he had a typo.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Raiders kicker here, Gavin Fano. You know the family.
I know the family very well.
School history by kicking a 35-yard field goal, and he's only a sophomore. Gary, I got another one for you.
What's that?
8th grade kicker, only his first kick in his high school career was this past Friday. Just decided to play this week, and he went, 8 for 8 on extra points?
Probably.
8th grade kicker for Logan Sport.
Yes, actually did, yes.
What a phenomenal. The kicker's getting some love here this
gotta
evening.
love it. This young man's a local guy playing for the Raiders out there, you know, I mean, hey, he's got a bright future. Just keep working it off. His dad's got doing what it takes to get him ready.
Brendan says Vital from Hamilton Christian is the real deal. Yes, indeed. He spoiled homecoming for Elton by himself. Sucks to lose, but have to give the young man his recognition. Yes, phenomenal talent. He does not get as much love as he deserves. And I think these next few weeks, as they make their playoff run, the state will know who Mr. Vital is.
You're right. I'm 100% with you.
What else we have? Damien says that Welsh Lafayette Renaissance game was a good one. Welsh adjusting in the game after Lafayette Renaissance jumped on them with a big lead. Yeah, I wouldn't expect anything less from Coach Corville and his staff. A phenomenal coach group, and they rallied after the loss of the quarterback last week.
Right.
337 Preps is in the chat. Where you heading this week, my man? Got some good ones to choose from. Bacon says if you smell what Under the Lights is cooking.
Yeah, buddy.
Lori Como says 9 for 9. So that was a 9 for 9 on extra points.
Wow.
And he just learned how to put the pads on Wednesday nights.
Wow. That's amazing in itself.
Gary, let's talk a little games that we had a chance to talk about on Wednesday night and make some picks, okay?
Right.
We'll start on Thursday. Birchman's went to Catholic Appointed, my friend. This one was a tune-up type of deal for Catholic Appointed. 53-7. Get ready for the big district showdown next week. Get everyone in. Get what you want to work on. Get out healthy, and you got a good St. Ed's team coming into play next week.
Most definitely. And Birchman's, young ball club. This is their first year really in the 11-man LHSAA. So they're having growing pains, but give them some some love, because they're going to be there one day coming up. But Catholic Appointed just is setting everything up for that final showdown.
And they get them at home next week.
Yes.
Watch out.
Look out.
What a game that we're going to talk about a lot Wednesday night.
Most definitely.
Crowley and Pine Prairie met on Thursday night. Crowley gets their 5th win of the season behind Floyd Flugents 6 touchdown night.
Yeah.
He won Player of the Game honors a couple weeks back, and he's still doing Player of the Game type of stat lines.
Right. Well, he's one of the best players they have on that team, and he just said basically, get on my back. I'm going to take us where we need to go, and he's been doing a great job for the last few weeks. So, man, I'm gonna tell you, that's a good team right there.
Northside gets back in the win column, 35-12 over Bro Bridge. Northside gets their 3rd win of the season. Now they will make their push for the playoffs, and it won't be easy, but they got some talent on that team and a head football coach over there.
Right. Oh yeah. They've got the talent. Now all they got to do is put it together. But man, they're in a district that is just really hard, man.
District's loaded, but they have a shot to get in.
Oh,
We're gonna watch them the next couple weeks.
Right.
His top 3 choices are St. Ed's at Catholic Appointed Peak, Notre Dame at Jennings, and North Vermilion at Westgate. Well, number 1 is 7-0 versus 7-0. Number 2, Notre Dame just knocked off LCA, and Jennings just made a statement on South Beauregard. So 1 and 2,
great.
You won't go wrong with either one.
Right.
What else we got, Gary? Central Catholic.
Central Catholic. Yeah.
A lot of injuries piling up for the Bulldogs.
Yeah.
CC rolls in this one, 41-8 to their 5th win of the season.
Yeah. Central Catholic is starting to play
Since
some good ball.
Since the Bunkie loss, they started to get things rolling.
Yeah, they're putting everything together
now. Yes, wait to the end of the show, Bryson. You're more than welcome to join us. We will announce where we're heading in week 8 at the end of the show. You don't want to miss it, right?
Yes, you don't want to miss it.
Don't want to miss it. Bunkie sets up a mega showdown next week with a cruise control 64-0 win. I bet the Grove was packed. I bet the Grove, they fed out the players after the game, and I bet they ate well.
And they cook well in that Grove, man.
They cook well at the Grove, and expect postseason football back at the Grove.
Oh, yeah.
And if Coach Hillman is watching, you'll be getting a phone call from us once the postseason gets around.
Most definitely. And I'm going to tell you right now, Bunkie is hard to beat at home. And I'll be honest with you, they're clicking right now, so I wouldn't want to play them.
Yeah, they're a scary team right now. And I think they're heads and shoulders above where they were a year ago.
Oh, most definitely. I will agree with you on that 100%.
What else we have here, Mr. Swallow?
Let's see.
Kind of jealous we don't get to do that Bunkie and Gina game like last year. Because how fun was that?
That was so awesome. That was so awesome.
Westgate turns to their youth in order to get things back in control over there. A lot of injuries were piling up for Westgate, so they turned to their youth, and the youth put on a show over there at Rain this past week. 59-14, Westgate rolls. And can Westgate find their groove before they get into a really challenging, difficult Division I bracket?
Yeah, and they need to get as much experience as they can, going forward, because once they get in there, that's going to be tough.
Gary, A-Meet knocks off Pine 33-14. We talked about those top 5 classes from Wednesday night. Well, Pine finds their way out of the top 5.
Right.
Somebody is moving in next week, and what a win for the A-Meet Warriors.
Well, I knew this game was going to be tough because A-Meet is always tough.
Yeah.
And Pine, I gave Pine a little edge at home, but A-Meet said, not so fast. They went in there and did it.
You're right, my friend. Episcopal met 4-1 Slaughter Charter, 41-22. Episcopal gets a win. So Episcopal finds their 6th win of the season. How good are they right now? It's still too early to tell?
I'll be honest with you. I think they're good. How good is going to be determined in the next couple weeks, but I still think they're a really strong team.
Northwest and Church Point, always some great battles over the years, my friend. But it seems like the Northwest Raiders are on a different scale this year.
Right.
They're all in to go make a state championship push, and
Right.
if you're not backing them right now or you don't believe in this team, watch out because they could hurt some feelings
Yeah.
along the way.
Right.
38-13 winners on the road in Battling Bear Stadium. That ain't the easiest places to go in and get a win, but when you got a phenomenal talent like Kevon Johnson that goes for 29 carries, 194 on the ground, 2 TDs, but the defense
Right.
could be the big time story from this one, holding Church Point to 13 at their field.
Yeah, that's a hard place to play, a hard place to win, and they went in there and they basically their defense shut down the Bears' offense, and they're starting to flex their muscles a little bit now.
How good will Week 10 be down the road
That's gonna be exciting,
when those two teams meet for the district crown?
right? Pretty much.
Speaking of their other counterpart that will meet in Week 10, we had the honors of doing this Iota Westlake game on Thursday. 28-27, Iota blocked extra points, and a 4th down stop, my friend, was the decider. Bulldogs right now are 6-1. They played in some mud Week 1. Very well could be sitting 7-0 right now, but with the senior leadership right now from the quarterback position, and all 5 linemen are seniors, and they got like 8 to 10 seniors on the defensive side of the ball, 8 to 10 seniors on the offensive side of the ball. This is the year for Iota if they were ever going to do something.
If they're gonna make a big push in the playoffs,
It's because of the senior class.
Yeah, senior leadership, most definitely.
And they got a ton of them, Gary, on both sides of the football, my friend. Gary, let's talk some more football from Friday nights. What else we have from Friday night? We go to Calvary Baptist and Union Parish. This one in the Jamboree was something that everyone had circled back for Week 7. We said Jamboree was so good, we got to see it twice for 4 quarters.
Right.
Well, my friend, Calvary Baptist and their phenomenal ball club went into Union Parish, and they were up. I think it was 24-0 at one point. If I'm wrong, correct me in the chat. But Union Parish made a game out of it late. Final score: Calvary 24, Union 15. And Calvary's head football coach, Gary, picks up win number 200 this past Friday. What an accomplishment!
200.
And what a football team he has in front of him.
Oh yeah, but Calvary Baptist is a unique ball club. You know, year after year they're always good. But for them to basically give that coach his 200th victory, that's a special night. Look out.
And we talked about how phenomenal the team is, right, Gary?
Yeah. Oh, most definitely.
Calvary Baptist, 63rd consecutive district win.
Yes.
Wow.
63. Wow.
63 in a row, and I thought if anybody could end the streak, it was Union Parish, but right now, it seems like Calvary's going to roll these next couple of weeks and keep that streak alive.
Calvary's clicking right now. Definitely.
Gary, let's go to E.D. White and Lutcher. My friend, this one right here had everyone's attention on Friday night. You talked about E.D. White's defense. You talked about Lutcher's offense. And this one was a game of runs here. Lutcher would have the final live. How about the UL commit, Trenton Cheney of Lutcher, with 3 touchdowns on the night. Quarterback is the son of the head football coach. He found Mr. Cheney on a couple of those scores. Gary, Lutcher is the real deal.
Oh, most definitely. We knew that going in. Lutcher is the real deal. E.D. White's a strong. They always strong. When it comes to that Thibodaux area and their district, they are always in there. But it was going to be hard for them to go into Lutcher and beat them. And Lutcher said, not tonight.
Especially with Cheney on the other side of the ball.
You're right.
And if this is our first time learning about Trenton Cheney, we're definitely going to keep our eye out on him moving forward because the UL commit put on a classic.
Yeah. Unbelievable. And all I can say is that congratulations to Lutcher. Great atmosphere, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Gary, Vermilion Catholic and Ascension Episcopal. It was a battle of the 7-0s this
6-0.
6-0s this past week. Correct.
Yeah. Which one would get to 7?
Which one would get to 7? And you knew location of this game mattered
Most definitely.
because you have two phenomenal ball clubs, two well-coached ball clubs, Gary. But when you got Johnny Football on
Yes.
your side, here's his stat lines. Mr. D'Artes, 40 carries, 282 yards, 4 touchdowns. Vermilion Catholic only attempted 2 passes all night.
Oh, wow. If you don't have to throw it, don't throw it. Just keep pounding it.
D'Artes is running wild right now, and my man, as long as he goes, they go. I'm assuming.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. You know, that man he is just in a totally different world. He is, when it comes to high school football, he is just above everybody else right now.
Final score, Vermilion Catholic at home beats Ascension Episcopal 49-27. Gary, we can now add on to the streak. Vermilion Catholic, 32 straight regular season wins for the Screaming Eagles. Ring the bell.
Ring the bell. Ding, ding, ding. You got that right.
And they probably going to ring it the next 3 weeks also.
Most definitely. Yes, they are. I would say...
Got a good feeling.
Man, I got a good feeling that they probably could go the rest of the way.
Got a good feeling. Road to the Dome will go through Screaming Eagle Stadium.
Right. That's a good possibility.
Gary, how about Rummel and St. Aug from Saturday? This one lived up to the hype that was surrounding it. Would Rummel get a big-time win? And would St. Aug avoid 3 straight losses? Gary, this one ended in bonus football, overtime, walk-off, touchdown run in overtime from Rummel's Corin Hawkins. What a game. And the Rummel Raiders are really clicking on all cylinders.
Rummel is one of those teams that's scary good all the time.
Can you imagine when... I'm not sure if they played yet. Has Rummel Carr played yet?
I don't think so.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Has Rummel Carr played yet? But man,
I'm not sure.
Rummel's playing some good ball.
Yeah, that Rummel is just, they're one of those teams where whenever you go in there, you don't know what to expect. They're just so tough, unbelievable. But yeah, I bet that was a great game.
Rummel finds their 6th win of the season, now 6-1, and St. Aug a 3-game skid. With a lot of talk was that St. Aug could make a run in the earlier part of the season.
Right.
Now, Gary, it's 3 in a row, but against 3 quality teams.
They're still going to make the playoffs, and I think they're going to have a shot to go. But they're going to have to go down as a lower seed to where they're going to...
Rummel Carr, Week 10. Ooh.
Yes. Oh, Rummel Carr, Week 10? Oh, man.
I hope Crescent City Sports streams that game.
Yeah.
That one will be some fun to watch.
That's going to be an awesome ball game.
That sure will be some fun to watch. Gary, how about Dutchtown, my friend?
Mm-hmm.
They played their rival, Denham Springs, and when you're playing rivalry football, you can throw records out of the window. Doesn't matter if you're having a better season or if he's down this year. You're gonna get everybody's best whenever it's
Denham or Dutchtown?
Denham Springs and Dutchtown.
Yeah, Dutchtown. Okay.
Doesn't matter whenever it's rivalry football. You're gonna get everybody's best.
Yeah, Dutchtown is, right now they're playing some high quality football.
And you're coming off of a semifinal appearance last year. You expected this.
Yeah, and then Denham Springs has a good season going. They've lost a couple games, but whenever these two play, take the records and throw them out the window because they are going to play hard-nosed football.
Gary, let me let you know how this one ended, my friend. It was a 1-score game late in the 4th quarter until Dutchtown's LaKedrick Harvey with a late touchdown to seal the deal and win this one by 2 scores, Final score, Dutchtown 27, Denham Springs 13. Dutchtown 7-0. Gary, your talk the last couple of years was Destrehan was a quiet, undefeated, scary team.
That's the one
I
this
have to say, Dutchtown is starting to take that role into your quiet, scary, undefeated.
Well, nobody talks about them really. We've talked about them a little bit,
And
but
they might get a lot of coverage from their area, but over here,
not really.
quiet, scary. Find them in the semis again.
Then before you know it, they're in the dome, and nobody talks about them, and they win. I mean, that's just the way it is. That's how Destrehan was. But I mean, they're the quiet horse right now.
They were a rain out. Played again on Saturday, away from playing in the state title last year. Dutchtown, scary team moving forward. Gary, I got to talk about Kaplan and Southern Lab, my friend.
Yes.
I got to talk about that one. Only one that gave Kaplan some love on Wednesday night. I thought that the physicality would be too much for Southern Lab, but I never had in my bingo cards. Uh-oh. Y'all hear Gary's ringtone?
Hang on, guys.
I never thought I would see the score the way it was, my friend. Kaplan at home knocks off defending state champion Southern Lab 40-20. Kaplan Pirates, they're senior heavy. They got Tank Latif back in the staff. Gary, the wing tee and the physical defense is a great combination for the Pirates, especially with how many veterans they have in that group. Dalen Landry, Wyatt Abear, both went over 100 yards rushing. And we got to start keeping our eye on the Pirates moving forward, because I think they went out.
You're right. I agree with you. I think that was a shock, because I thought Southern Lab was going to be. I thought it was going to be really, really tough. But man, that was a shock for me. I know I didn't pick them, and I'm sorry, but
I'm
gonna give them some love from now on.
Very well could find their way on your statement wins of the night later, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Good.
Gary, how good will Kaplan ERAF be for the district title?
I think it's going to be a popcorn eating ball game. That means we're going to sit down and watch a good ball game and eat some popcorn and say a lot of wows.
There you go. Pirates, big time win and rightfully deserved. They got a lot of veterans in their locker room, good football coach, and a physical group. Gary, let's go to this next one. Captain Shreve and Destrehan. I got to let you know how this one finished, my friend, because this one came down to the very final few seconds. Game-winning goal line stand for Destrehan as Jabri Mack made the biggest tackle of the night as time would run out on the game clock. Final score, Destrehan 46-42. What a win for Destrehan. They're getting healthy, and that's a win that could provoke them into the playoffs.
Yeah, Captain Shreve has been scoring points. They've been doing so good, and Destrehan. I don't know if you could call it a rebuild year. I mean, they were 500. They were 3-3, and then this game they came in there. They did everything they had to do to control Shreve's offense and do it. And that stop at the end was just amazing.
You coming off of a 70-something point week ago, and then you come into a hostile environment in Destrehan. The game is on the line. You need one big time run to put this game away. You're inside the goal line, inside the 5, and Gary, Destrehan's defense stands up when the game mattered.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's an exciting. As a fan, whenever you watch a game like that, that's when you just get so excited, get chills and everything. It's just unbelievable. So yeah, I agree.
Man, great ball game between Shreve and Destrehan Friday night. Gary, this one was not close, but we do have to show some recognition whenever Acadiana knocked off Lafayette 55-10. Reckon Rams get their 6th win of the season, but how about some history that was made on Friday night? Acadiana's Caden DeBetta breaks an all-time passing record previously held by Acadiana's head football coach right now, Matthew McCullum.
Yeah.
He had 32.58 back in 1999. What an accomplishment from a team that is formerly known as Fear de Veer, and he's lighting up the stat sheets this year through the air. Acadiana has multiple phases to beat you this year, and now they make it 18 years in a row beating Lafayette High.
Right, and that's a feat in itself. But what I'm amazed by is that it used to be Fear the Veer, now it's just Fear the Rams, because I'm gonna tell you right now, they're going all over the place. Fear the Rams. It's crazy. They're throwing the ball, they're pounding the ball. When they need a run, they run it and they pound it. Whenever they need a pass, they throw it.
Gary, the road to the Dome, we said could go through Vermilion Catholic. Well, I'm starting to think the road to the Dome could go through Acadiana.
It's more. I'm gonna tell you, it's looking more and more like that every Friday.
Wrecking Rams.
Wrecking Rams.
One of our favorites on the platform.
Fear the Rams.
Fear the Rams.
Fear the Rams.
You're right. Gary, how about Lake Charles College Prep welcoming in St. Louis? We talked about the schedule on Wednesday night. We said they were battle tested, and their schedule up to this point has been a grueling one.
Right.
But we saw Lake Charles College Prep up close and personal against Opelousas, and that's not a 1-5 ball club. And if they get into the playoffs, they're going to go upset a team or two, because that is a good ball club. 1-5 does not speak about the non-district slate they played.
Correct. And you know they played against a St. Louis team that is, they're rebuilding.
Yeah.
They're rebuilding right now, and you know, Prep's scary. Prep, I think Lake Charles College Prep is a scary ball club because they have talent, and they're one play away from flipping the switch and stuff like that. So it's great to see them.
And with a lot of talent means a lot of big time moments from Friday, and you got to recognize Lake Charles College Prep's Elijah Pete, 5 touchdown game. Congratulations, what a night! And he has to be that good moving forward to win some big time games down the road.
Right. And they can position themselves, like I said, I think they're gonna make the playoffs because of the strength of their schedule.
You remember last year they went and knocked off Catholic in New Iberia in upset fashion. No one wanted to play Prep because they wasn't their seed didn't define how good they were.
Right.
It seems like it's trending back in that direction.
Right, and when the playoffs start, whoever plays them, they're gonna get a rude awakening. They're gonna have to play this team.
Gary, next week, how good will Lake Charles College Prep Westlake be?
Oh, that's going to be a ball game and a half, Jordy. Oh, yeah. It's going to be exciting. You got 2 good teams. And you remember what we said earlier. These games are starting to count because this is where they start getting their positioning for the playoffs.
Yeah.
So it's going to start.
Every game matters.
It's going to be wide open right now. From now on.
Every game matters. And it seems like Jennings has their pulse on that district at this time. But this one right here is huge next Friday.
Yes, you are right. I'm 100% in agreement with you.
What else we got? Let's go to DeRidder and Leesville, the battle of the Hooper Trophy between these two. We saw Leesville a week ago completely get shut down against a really talented Iowa defensive front. We said it on Wednesday, it would not take long to get things back in gear. And how long would it take for Xavier Ford to break the record? We said it live on air the other night. I think it was Friday night. We said it live on air. We didn't know when the record was going to be broken, but we said it. Congratulations ahead of time because we know when it was getting broken.
It got broken. Added to.
Added to. You're right, my friend. Battle of the Hooper Trophy will go to Leesville Wampus Cats. They get back in the win column, and they get their rushing attack back to where they want it with a 62-35 victory over DeRidder. What a win and what a response for the Wampus Cats.
You're right. And that record that was broken was a record that nobody thought could be broken. And I'm going to tell you right now, that young man is a talent. He well-deserved. congratulations. And he's going to add to it, Jordy. It's going to just keep getting more and more and more.
Hey, I would like to add something to that Bunkie Buckeye matchup real
What's
quick.
that? Go ahead.
Bunkie in the last 2 weeks, 117-0 in the score.
Oh, really? Wow. I didn't realize that. That is amazing.
Gary, let's go to the big one on Friday night. Neville and Ruston.
Oh, yeah.
Neville ends Ruston's state's longest winning streak with a final score 26-21. How about them Neville Tigers knocking off Big Ruston? The Jamboree was a classic, my friend.
Right.
We said we gotta get 2 more quarters of this one, and thank goodness Neville moved up in district play to go and get in this district, because Ruston Neville, we deserve this every year.
Ruston was ahead until right at the end, if I'm not mistaken. It was
It was a little back and forth,
yeah,
and
back and forth.
Ruston took the lead 21-20. Neville came right back and took the lead 26-21. Neville got the ball, had a shot to get the ball back if they were Ruston, but they could not get a stop. Neville first down, icing, and the rest is history with 2 downs away.
That ball game had to be exciting because, I mean, just the 2 quality opponents that you know they are. I mean, these teams have been knowing each other forever, and you know I think it's the start, the beginning of a all out. You know, we don't know what's going to happen every year. I think those 2 teams are back on top, and look out! I'm excited about it. You know, Ruston was always Big Ruston. We always call him Big Ruston, you know. Neville went not so fast.
Gary, I gotta start to throw this question at you.
All right.
This very well could not be the last time we see these 2 teams clash.
Oh, no. I think there's a good possibility they're going to see each other again.
This looks like a semifinal or state championship brewer.
Depending on the bracket, depending on the side of the brackets that they get on, I think that's a possibility.
And I'm all for it. Sign me up for
yes.
Neville Ruston Part 2. Anybody else in the chat would love to see that matchup again? You would love to see it. I would love to see it.
I'll be sitting in. I'll have a big soda pop and a big bucket of popcorn, and I'll be saying, "Let's play."
Especially if it's at the Dome.
That's what I'm saying. If it's at the Dome, I will be enjoying every minute of it.
Gary, how about the Battle of Baton Rouge Friday night? Central Baton Rouge trying to become the new dogs in Baton Rouge. They had to go knock off the defending state champs, and Catholic of Baton Rouge put their foot on the ground and said, "We run Baton Rouge."
You're right.
Central Baton Rouge primed to make a dome run. Catholic of Baton Rouge said, "We're the defending state champs, and to be the champs, you got to go knock off the champs."
Yeah.
And the Battle of Baton Rouge goes to Catholic of Baton Rouge.
Catholic High School they're just so strong and so powerful. Central is up and coming. They've got everything that they need. They got the coaching staff. They got everything. They got good quality athletes over there. But Catholic of Baton Rouge said, "We're still number 1 in Baton Rouge." And you know what? They are. And they did it.
You got to beat them on the field.
Yeah, you got to beat them on the field to get that title. To get that recognition, you got to beat them on the field. Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. And what a statement Friday for Catholic of BR. 35-17 over Central of Baton Rouge. A reason why they still landed in my top 5 this past week.
Most definitely. Most definitely.
Gary, both of these teams still can have incredible runs to the Dome after this game.
Yes. Oh, yes. Most definitely. This game, you know, I think this game's going to kickstart Central. I think it's going to make them better. This game with Catholic of Baton Rouge, I think it's going to say, man, everybody's gunning for us. But they knew that. So, I mean, I think this is going to make both teams better all the way around.
Phenomenal ball games in week 7. Here's another one for you. Oak Grove and Mangum. It was the battle of the 5-1s. Oak Grove defending state champs. Mangum trying to get back to the promised land. Raucous environment. Gary, this game shows me a lot from a loss compared to showing me from a win.
Right.
This shows me that Mangum could be a clear favorite right now in Division 4 non-select with a close loss to the defending state champs in Oak Grove, 26-20. In Oak Grove, you had to go in and fight and get out of there with a close victory. Mangum, they're no pushovers.
No, I think Mangum, that game there was a statement to say, hey, don't forget about us. We're good too. And they basically just drew the line and said, we're coming. They said, okay, here's the line. We're going to keep going, and they're going to keep moving forward. That must have been an awesome game.
And it's not often you can go into a recap show and say you can take more from a loss than you can a win. But as of this one right here, Mangum with a 5-2 record, I wouldn't want to play them.
No, not right now. They're playing very well.
But
so,
you know who they get next week?
Who that?
And that will answer a lot of questions. Ouachita Christian.
Oh, Ouachita Christian. That will be a deciding game for Mangum to see exactly how good they are. That will be very, very a very tight ball game.
That's going to be a great one because if you look at Ouachita Christian, this is going to be their toughest opponent up to this point.
Yeah, up to the year, yeah.
Good win for Oak Grove, nonetheless. 26-20. They get their 6th win of the season. All they got to do is stay healthy and keep winning games and get in the playoffs and then make a run.
Oh, yeah.
All you have to do is stay healthy.
Their history and everything like that. Stay healthy, keep their people healthy and going. They got a shot to go back there.
Gary, the big one Friday night at Knight Stadium. Pios and Coach Louis Cook comes in, not intimidated about the LCA Knights Ball Club. 42-28. Pios with their senior-led group goes and shocks the Knights on their home turf as a physical rushing attack and a heck of a front seven from the Pios that Coach Louis Cook's got something special in his hands this year.
I'll tell you what, Coach Cook, congratulations. I didn't see that coming, not to go into Knight Stadium. I am a believer. You guys rock. Go Pios. That's all I can say now. Go Pios.
You look at the records here. Notre Dame gets their 4th win of the season. LCA falls to 2-5 right now. Physical Notre Dame, well-coached ball club. Going to be scary moving forward.
Right.
LCA, how do you respond?
I still think LCA is scary, but Notre Dame made a statement right now.
How do you respond, LCA and Notre Dame? This one very well could start a little winning streak.
You're right, most definitely.
LaGrange took their 5-1 record into Eunice. The Bobcats searching for their 1st win of the season, and it was a nail biter. They scratched to the final whistle, and LaGrange almost with the comeback of the century to knock off the Bobcats. But the Bobcats survive and pick up win number 1. And what a win for the Bobcats. Congratulations. You know this one feels good.
Right. I mean, I'm going to tell you something. That's a game that I didn't think Eunice had a chance in, but I knew Eunice was gonna give them a game.
I had Eunice picked on Wednesday.
I didn't. I'm gonna tell you right now, but I think that Eunice, this game is gonna help Eunice the rest of the way.
They can win a couple more and sneak into the playoffs.
That's what I'm saying.
But they can't afford to lose.
No, they can't lose another. They're gonna have to come out and they're gonna have to win
at
least 2 of the next 3, definitely.
Yep. What about LaGrange, Gary? They're 5-1 right now, very improved. The coach has those guys believing in a game like this against a respectable opponent. The record doesn't define the schedule that they've had. A lot of close losses for the Bobcats this year, but LaGrange going on the road, almost picking up a win. They turn that program around quick.
I think LaGrange is, like you said, I think they've made such strides in their development. This is a great year for them. They're playing well. I just think they ran into a Eunice Bobcat team that said we're tired of losing, and they played well. But I think LaGrange is going to be a tough team going forward.
Yeah,
most definitely.
Lake Arthur and Richwood battled it out on Friday night. Lake Arthur healthy, back at the quarterback position. Great to see Coach's son back under center moving forward. I think they're going to run a 2-quarterback system. Not sure about that one, but just great to see him healthy again.
Right.
The game, my goodness, 24-20 Lake Arthur with the win at home. Richwood came in with an 0-5 record, but it was a respectful 0-5 record with some of the teams they played this year. A lot of athletes over there with Richwood, and Lake Arthur speaks volumes to their program. I think this is a quality win, even though the record didn't say so with Richwood.
Oh, most definitely. I think so too. I mean, because if you look at Richwood's opponents, they're all quality opponents. You know, they may be 0-6 now, but I think that the teams that they played were very good teams. So that's going to be a good quality win for Lake Arthur in my eyes.
Lake Arthur is 5-2 now. You win a couple more, Gary, and you very well could find yourself hosting postseason football over there at Tiger Stadium.
Yes, you're right. You're right.
I'm all for it. I enjoyed my experience over there.
Yeah. Always fun to go to Lake Arthur.
Sorry, Caleb. That's our opinions. What else we have, my friend? Marksville and Caldwell Parish. A lot closer than some of us thought, but
Right.
Caldwell Parish at home puts up a great fight against Marksville. 34-26. Marksville, you said they got the back this week.
Yeah.
He's healthy, and he put on the show. They're going to need him moving forward. Marksville gets their 4th win, and they are searching for a home playoff game like last year.
Right. Most definitely.
And if Bunky knocks off Gina, Marksville wins out, it could set up a huge Week 10 where a share could be on the line for the district title, but a long way from there.
Yes, you're right.
A long, long way from there. Mamou and Ville Platte met Friday night. Ville Platte's homecoming night, and we should have thought more consideration into this, because when Ville Platte has homecoming, my friend, this place is packed out. The kids play with a lot of emotion, and they did get a big-time win, 24-14. What a win for the Bulldogs, first win for head football coach over there in his career, and congratulations, Coach. Knocked off a Mamou team that was coming in off the emotional win a week ago to Abbeville. But Ville Platte's homecomings, that's something special to see.
Yeah, and you know, Ville Platte and Mamou's not that far from each other, so they pretty much play regular. And you know, Mamou coming off of that high, we thought that was going to give them that edge, but man, Ville Platte proved us wrong.
You're right, my friend, and a big win for the Bulldogs. Happy homecoming, 24-14. They get a win over the Green Demons. How about Vinton and Pickering? No troubles on this one, Gary. Vinton, they've been in some battles along the way.
Right.
This one right here, no troubles at home. 43-14, 4th win of the season for Vinton. Vinton, I got a feeling postseason football is in store for them this year.
Yeah.
What a complete 190 they've had at that program.
Yeah, I tell you what. Yeah, you know, they've turned around, because last year they were struggling, and this year they actually put it together. They're doing a lot better this year.
They got a shot to finish over 500, so
Correct.
I'm rooting for Vinton moving forward.
Most definitely.
The Quincy finds their 6th win of the season over Jonesboro Hodge. It was a struggle for a little while, and then they kicked things into gear late in this one and had some separation, but 38-20 final score. The Quincy's 6th win of the season. An impressive start for the Tigers.
Very impressive for the Quincy.
Oberlin and Maryville, what a great battle this one was on Friday. And someone let us know in the chat, I think Oberlin is down to 13 available players. Correct me if I'm wrong, but 28-20 still finding a way with a limited roster to go on the road and get a win. That speaks
That
volumes.
speaks volumes for it, man. When you have that few people on the team, you got to make sure everybody stays healthy because you get a run of injuries and you're in trouble.
Yeah.
But all I can say is congratulations to Oberlin for a win.
Yes, my friend.
And they get their record up to 3-3.
Yep, back to
Yeah,
500.
back to 500.
The Erab Bobcats come off of a win on Friday. They've been in a lot of close ball games, on the right side of a lot of close ball games.
Right.
We thought to ourselves that this one had a shot to they can finally play a game where they don't have to worry in the fourth quarter. They can go in cruise control, get some younger guys in, and have a happy homecoming. And
Right.
the Bobcats get a big win, 43-7. Eraf Kaplan looms
Yeah.
down the road, my friend.
That's going to be a ball game. I think that's going to be an exciting
It's gonna
Friday
be the talk
night.
of the town.
Yeah, it's going to be the talk of both towns probably.
Yes, sir. Alexandria rolls to their 7th win of the season. No problems on the road with Pineville, 56-21. Alexandria Ruston next week at home. How
Oh, wow.
great of a ball game that's going to be. The question mark will be, can Alexandria keep things rolling and go 7-0? And the other side of it will be, can Ruston avoid losing 2 in a row?
Ruston just lost a game.
Yes.
I don't want to play them right now.
But
I
if,
do not
if
want to play
anybody
them.
would want to play him, I'm sure Alexandria
Oh.
would raise their hands.
I think their offense is going to score. But this is going to be the best, in my opinion, this is going to be the best defense that they're going to face this year.
Gotta be fireworks.
It's going to be awesome. I think it's going to be real awesome. There's some knockdown dragouts coming up, and I think this is going to be one of them.
My friend St. Martinville's battling some injuries right now.
Yeah,
and
quite a bit.
could miss out on they could miss out on the playoffs if they don't find a way to get a couple wins here, and things would not get any easier Friday night with Jeanneret. And Jeanneret, they rolled 26-13 to their 6th win of the season. We talked about Mangum being a heavy favorite in Division 4
Right.
non-select. Jeanneret, top 3.
Right.
Heavy favorites.
Yeah, unbelievable. I think, I'm going to tell you right now, Jeanneret, yes, they're undefeated.
Yeah.
But let me tell you something. I don't know if they get the respect that they should,
Okay.
and from a lot of teams. Jeanneret is going to be a scary, good team.
Stay healthy.
Oh yes, most definitely.
Stay
Most
healthy,
definitely.
and they can very well have the big J in New Orleans.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Gary, how about White Castle and North Iberville in a battle of the ages Friday night at North Iberville? North Iberville rolling to a 6-0 record out the gates. They're red hot. Coach made a statement, said this would be the best team we played up to this point, and boy was he not wrong. But his team battled for 4 quarters. White Castle on the road finds a way to get a 1-point victory, and I'm sure it was a game of the year caliber for both of those programs.
You're right.
44-43. What a win for White Castle.
That had to be an explosive ball game. I mean, I'm sorry, that just had to be one that just makes you go, wow. When you go into North Iberville, an undefeated team,
A red hot team.
and a red hot team, and you come out with a 1-point win, that is scratching and clawing, doing what you have to do to win.
Things don't get any easier for North Iberville moving forward.
No.
They got Ascension Catholic next week.
Right.
White Castle, a win like this could give their team confidence to go make a playoff run and make a little noise.
Right.
Gary, how about Port Barry and Westminster Friday night?
Mm-hmm.
This one right here, it was Westminster's homecoming night. Port Barry walked in they got the starting quarterback back. He put up big numbers, but it would not be enough. Westminster would light up the scoreboard on Friday, 63-25. Crusaders cruise to their 5th win of the season and they got a shot these next 2 weeks to really roll to 7-2. And then Gary, week 10, that's going to be a heck of a showdown.
That's right.
For the Crusaders.
Yeah.
For the Red Devils, getting healthy at the right time. They welcome in a Oakdale Warrior team this coming Thursday. And that one, I have a great feeling that two good ball clubs are going to battle it out for 48 minutes, and that one very well could come down to who has the ball last.
Right, Gordy. I think once the Devils get their team a little bit healthier and get some people back, I think they're going to be more competitive. But you have to say congratulations to Westminster on their homecoming, victory. When you're injured, it's hard to compete against a healthy team.
Quality team.
Yeah, and that's exactly what Fort Bear is going through right now. But Westminster's doing what they have to do. That last game of the year for Westminster is going to be, I think, it's going to be awesome.
Phenomenal.
That's going to be one of the best games that we're going to watch.
Absolutely. How about we go to? That was a lot of offense right there, right?
Yeah, most definitely.
Let's go to a lot of defense on the next game, my friend.
Yeah, sir.
Avoyelles and Holy Savior Menard. If I told you this one right here with Avoyelles offense would get shut out on the road to a Menard team that was struggling to score points these last couple of weeks, you would have called me crazy.
No, I'd call you drunk.
You'd have called me drunk.
But wow, that's all I can say. When I saw the score of that game, I looked at it. I said, I have lost my mind. That was a misprint. They couldn't do that, but they shut down that offense.
Holy Savior Menard on homecoming night gets an 8-0 victory over Avoyelles. They're not getting shut out many times throughout a calendar season, my friend.
Not at all.
Menard, their front seven must have played the game of their lives.
Had to. I mean, that's all I can say is that because Menard, they've been struggling. They've been struggling.
Kind of in a rebuild season here. Lost a lot of seniors, but an 8-0 victory. Hats off to them and congratulations. What a win for Holy Savior Menard.
You are 100% correct, sir.
Gary, Grand Lake Basile battle it out. They've had some great battles of the last couple of years, my friend. Grand Lake would knock off Basile 44-12. Remember we saw this game a couple years back and it came down to a 2-point conversion?
Correct, yes, I remember that.
We thought this one had the lights of it, but Grand Lake too strong on Friday night. They rolled to a 44-12 victory over the Bearcats and keep themselves in contention for the district title. It won't be easy with Hamilton Christian still winning, but they're going to keep themselves in consideration. Basile prayers are with the young man that was sent to the hospital by ambulance. Hopefully he's doing well at this time, but Grand Lake, big win, 44-12.
Yeah, Grand Lake's playing very good ball right now. Don't let the record fool you. And they have a chance to make a good push. They do.
Yeah, we actually talked about Northwest in the beginning of the show. We talked about that matchup, so if you were when this one is over, it's available to rewatch at any time.
Yeah.
Oakdale and Kinder, Mr. Swallow.
Yeah.
Yellow Jackets coming off of a loss a week ago. You had to think they were going to respond in a big way this week. That was not their caliber of ball, and I'm sure Coach Reed really harped on it this week to get his group back on track.
You're right. I think so too. It was when you see Kinder, it makes you think that they're going to come out strong, and they're actually, those two losses were basically they just weren't playing good ball right there. But they were going against a good team, but they came out to prove a point against Oakdale.
Yeah, prove a point indeed. Happy homecoming to the Yellow Jackets. 42-13 victory over Oakdale. Kinder back on track, but you expected it after last week.
Yeah.
And you don't see often two back-to-back performances like that.
Yeah.
Kinder could roll the next couple weeks.
Right. I think Kinder's strong enough. They just ran into a team that was just clicking on all cylinders last week. but against Oakdale, they put it all together and they said, okay, it's homecoming. Let's do what we have to do, and they did.
Yeah. How about Lafayette Renaissance and Welsh? What a battle this one was. Greyhounds and Lafayette Renaissance in an instant classic finish for the ages. A team that rallies behind their starting quarterback is a team that I can get behind 7 days out of the week, my friend. And the Greyhounds, they left it out on the field Friday night, and a lot of hearts were left on that field. But Lafayette Renaissance going on the road and a good environment, finding a way to win. It's a well-coached ball club, and good teams find ways to win when games are close.
Yeah, Jordy, and Welsh they had the lead for a while, and they lost it right at the end of the game, and that just shows that the heart that they were playing for their quarterback, out for the year. But Lafayette Renaissance just showed that they kept on fighting, kept on doing what they had to do.
Here you go. Here's a little update for us. Lafayette Renaissance was up 3 touchdowns in the first quarter. Explosive offense, yes, absolutely. Welch said, hold on, we still here, came back. It was a good second and third quarter. Had the lead in the fourth quarter. Lafayette Renaissance scored late in the fourth and got ahead. Welsh couldn't make another score to win. 2 points is hard, but I'm so proud of the kids for fighting and giving it a good game. Yes, what a game.
Very good. That is awesome. That is so awesome. When you see a game like that and you know what's going on, it makes you just feel so good. Even in a loss, it makes you feel good for a team.
Yeah, Coach Corville, phenomenal football coach.
Most definitely.
He'll get those guys playing for 48 minutes no matter what.
Yep, that's the way it is.
What else we have here, Gary? Hamilton Christian and Elton met on Friday night. This one was homecoming for Elton, and then Hamilton Christian with their phenomenal quarterback, Mr. Vital, would roll to a 46-22 victory. Elton, 6 turnovers in the game, really flipped this game on his head, and if you give Hamilton Christian a little bit of a crease, they're going to take it and run.
Yeah, most definitely. Hamilton Christians, first of all, they're playing well, and when you give them the ball on a short field or just whenever, anytime you give them a ball, that's extra time that they have it, and guess what? They're just going to dominate, and they did.
6-1 Hamilton Christian. That's a scary team right now.
You're right.
Moving forward.
They're
in cruise control of that district.
Yeah.
I think them and Basile week 10. So we'll see what happens down the road. I'm not sure who they have before then, but big one for Hamilton Christian week 10, and then Elton Basile Battle of the Bayou is next week.
Yeah, you're right.
Good old rivalry football there, my friend.
Hey, ain't nothing like a good rivalry.
Dedrick Lasty and the Riverside Ball Club would roll over a 1-loss West St. John team, 41-6. How special is that running back?
That he is so good. He's got a good group around him, and he's taking advantage of that, and he's going. Look out for Riverside.
St. James gets their 4th win of the season over McDonough 35, 26-9. St. James, young ball club, growing up right in front of our eyes. And watch out for the St. James moving forward, Gary.
Yeah, they're like you said, they're growing up right in front of our eyes because it seems like every week they're getting better and better. So, I mean, all I can say is congratulations to a young St. James team, but they're, like you said, they're growing up right in front of us.
Barb called it a business trip. Well, business trip indeed. They would roll over New Iberia Senior High on the road, 35-7. Bucks back in the win column.
Yeah.
Get their 4th win of the season.
Yeah. I knew that was going to be a good game.
Southside has been playing some phenomenal football these last couple weeks, Gary. Since the early loss in the season, they have not looked back, and they cruise on the road 41-0 to Sulphur and set up a major showdown next week with Acadiana.
Yeah, that is going to be one of the best games that we're going to see all year. The South Side.
Coach Curtis's
Yeah.
Southside Sharks knock off the Giant in Acadiana.
Right. Well, a few years ago, Southside did
They
it,
did it.
and I wouldn't put anything past them, especially
This
with Coach
Acadiana
Curtis.
team, oof,
But like you
they
said,
loaded.
the game is going to be it's going to be awesome because
District championship on the line next week.
fear the Rams because you don't know if they're going to pound it or if ever they're going to throw it. It's going to be one or the other.
Battle for the district title next Friday
Mhm.
night. Gary, how about Karen Crow getting a big win over Sam Houston? It's been a struggle this year
Yeah.
for the Bears, but finding a 10-point win at home over Sam Houston, 37-27. This should be a major confidence booster for the Bears moving forward.
I think that this victory over Sam Houston is going to propel them to the next level, where they're going to pretty much be on fire for the next few weeks, and I think they're going to basically have to say, let's win to position ourselves in the playoffs and make a run.
I think they're on a 3-game win streak right now.
Yeah.
Where will they end as we enter week 11 in a couple weeks? And not an easy Division I to go into.
You're right.
Right.
You're definitely right. But
Going on a winning streak, who knows what can happen?
you know the old saying that says you gotta gel at the right time. Well, they're gelling at the right time.
Archbishop Shaw has been gelling since the early season losses, my friend, and they are rolling these last couple weeks. They steamrolled past LCA, and then they have not looked back, and they do it again on Friday. 59-14 over 5A Walker. How about Archbishop Shaw?
Look out. We've been talking about Shaw all year. Shaw is going to be a force.
This is their year.
Yes.
If there was ever a year to get to the Dome,
Yeah.
it's this year.
Shaw is definitely going to be a force.
Santa Mont and East Ascension, great rivalry football game. Year one of the Brockmathern era would not go back to East Ascension. Santa Mont would keep the trophy, and with a 17-12 victory, what a game that one must have been. Close.
These two teams have been rivals since I could remember high school football. As far as that. And man, we had one of my best friends played for one team, another good friend of mine played for another team. It was just like, okay, who do I cheer for? Because they're both friends of mine. But Santa Mont is always good. East Ascension is usually pretty good also. But this must have been a big victory for Santa Mont.
Absolutely. Jesuit must have something we don't know about in their locker room this year, my friend, because they knock off St. Aug. They play a team close early in the year. They knock off another one that we didn't expect. And Gary, they held Edna Core to 21 points on Friday night, falling 21-9. Defense got to be really, really good because it was a 7-7 ball game at halftime, I believe. And they got a safety here, so Jesuit, the Blue Jays defense got to be something good that we don't know about.
Correct. Anytime you hold Edna Core to 21 points
And force a safety.
and force a safety, that tells me that you got a good defense. But like I said, that had to be a good ball game. But I still think Carr is a team. Carr is the team, man. I'm sorry.
Let me tell you who Carr got next week.
Who that?
I don't think it's going to be worth the game as it's been the last 10 years, but the rivalry between Carr and Warren Easton is next week.
Oh, really?
But you said earlier in the show, you could throw the records out. You're going to get everybody's best whenever it's rivalry football.
When Warren Easton and Edna Carr play, that's high quality football right there.
Yes. How about another high-quality football game Friday night? West Monroe and a very improved Ouachita Parish Ball Club. Ouachita Parish playing some good ball, trying to not get forgot about in that loaded district that they're in right now with Ruston, Neville, and Alexandria. Trying to stay in the mix in this race, and West Monroe would go on the road and knock off Ouachita Parish 15-13. Close one, squeaker but what a win for the Rebels.
I had a feeling about this game because I won't lie. I think I'm the only one that picked West Monroe.
You and Enoch.
Me and okay, well.
Well, you
me and
had
Enoch.
Ouachita Parish coming off of
Yeah.
a 1-point loss to Ruston a week
Right.
ago.
Yeah.
You had to lean their way a little bit.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. I think Ouachita Parish was coming, but there was just something. Well, you know how I am about West Monroe. They're one of my favorite teams in the state. And that was just a gut feeling that I had that I thought that they were going to win, and they did in a tight one.
Tight.
That was a good ball game.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What a win for the Rebels.
Yes.
Get their 4th win of the season, and Ouachita Parish falls to 4-3. But it seems like it's a 3-man race right now.
Oh, most definitely.
In that
Yes,
district.
I think so. I definitely think so.
Brother Martin, John Curtis trying to stay in the pack right now in their respected district with the way Edna Cora has come out the gates. So this would be a huge game for both programs. Who would get the victory? It would be John Curtis and their outstanding defense this year, picking up a 17-14 victory over a really talented, well-coached Brother Martin Ball Club.
Yeah, I mean, Curtis, their defense must be amazing this year. I mean, usually they'll outscore you or whatever, but this year they're not outscoring. Well, they're outscoring them, but it's usually a low-scoring game. Their defense must be amazing right now.
And I think John Curtis at Nicora is week 9. Somebody let us know in the chat, but I think Curtis and Edna Cora is looming week 9. That could be for the district title.
That could be definitely. Can Curtis's defense stop Carr's offense?
That's going to be the storyline.
Yes.
That's going to hit all of the newspaper articles in New Orleans.
Yes.
Curtis's offense, Curtis's defense versus Cora's offense.
Right. And I think that's going to be very close to what's going to happen. Can they stop Edna Cora? And I don't know.
Jennings, South Beauregard. This one was supposed to be a fight for the ages for 4 quarters between these two good ball clubs that come in 5-1. A packed house over there at South Beau. You expected this one to be a tight one all the way through, and Jennings was having nothing of it, Gary.
Oh, Jennings
They
did.
went on the road. They put a statement. 55-0. The Bulldogs, since the week 1 loss, have really made statement after statement after statement after statement. They're here to play, and they're not going anywhere.
That in itself, you talk about a statement game, that was a statement game to where they said, we're here and we're going for it. And I'm going to tell you right now, you don't want to play Jennings in the playoffs.
You don't want to play Jennings right now.
You don't want to play them right now, but once they get the season's over, you don't want to play them in the playoffs. If they stay healthy, they may be in New Orleans.
Long way from there, Gary.
I know.
Long way from there, but right now, red hot Bulldogs, and that week 1 loss to Iowa, with how great Iowa is right now, doesn't look as bad.
Well, I know, and that's what I'm saying. That's the game that everybody's going to talk about all year. Iowa beat them. Well, guess what? Look at what Iowa's doing.
Yes.
Crazy.
Gary, what else do we have here, my friend? Warren Easton and Holy Cross, 2 teams kind of towards the bottom of that Catholic League district, but you said it. Every win matters the rest of the way. Trying to get your seeding, trying to make the playoffs, and with 2 4-2 teams battling it out, something had to give. Someone needed a crucial win. It was Holy Cross at home escaping with a 2-point victory, 23-21. What a win for Holy Cross. Warren Easton, young ball club right now.
Yeah, you're looking at 2 ball clubs that are both in rebuilding years, just by their schedule and what they are. But I think Holy Cross has a little more experience. Warren Easton is just, they're young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of Iowa Yellow Jackets, my friend, a red hot 6-1 Iowa Yellow Jackets would roll 47-12 over Washington Marion. Gary, did you see the soldier come back in pregame to honor his brother on senior night?
Yes, I did.
What an honor that was. We saw him a year ago, Mr. Luke Guillory,
Right.
playing tight end for the Yellow Jackets. Comes back, surprises his brother. What an awesome moment for the team. What an awesome moment for the family, the community.
Right.
I mean, first class program.
Yeah, oh, definitely. I mean, I can't say enough about Iowa and the way that they run their program out there. That was just so awesome to see that. And I'm sure that's been planned for a while,
Yeah, they put the video on the big board.
Yeah. And so it's just amazing. And all you can say is congratulations to Iowa. And they're a team that's going to be a force to be reckoned with.
Iowa is starting to look 9-1 good.
Yeah.
Hosting a first round or getting a first round bye. That's how good they are.
That's a good possibility. What you just said, that is a very good possibility. Yes.
Gary, Franklinton and Abbeville would meet on Friday. This game would not finish. Franklinton would get the win 50-12. They had some worries and concerns in the stadium, so this one would finish before we got to the final whistle. 50-12. Franklinton gets the win. They were well on their way to victory, but the game just ended a little bit earlier.
Yeah, they had some issues over there, and I mean, I hate to see that happen.
We're not gonna.
We're not gonna bring it. Yeah, but that's just you hate to see that happen at a high school football game.
Yes, sir. Catholic New Iberia 6-1 now after they cruised to victory 62-6 over Delcom.
Yep.
Gary, Catholic New Iberia, Loreauville next week. Two teams that absolutely hate each other.
They do, and I think it's going to probably be one of the best ball games of the year.
In that area?
In that area, most definitely.
Gary, Westminster Lafayette, they adopted the fear to veer mentality. Their coach comes from the Acadiana staff, and what a phenomenal hire for the Chargers. They get a 53-0 victory, move to 6-1 on the year. Looking forward to meeting the head coach one day.
Most definitely. I look forward to meeting him. I wasn't fortunate enough to meet him yet, but I think he's doing a great job over there, and I only see good things coming out of that program.
Yeah. How about the next two games, Gary? Opelousas was on the road to Livonia, and Cecilia hosted Beauchesne. We talked about it Wednesday. Would this be one of those deals where you get in, you get out healthy, work on what you want to work on, and then the big one follows the following week? You can't afford to get anybody hurt before the biggest game of the season.
You are right, and OHS and Cecilia both flexed their muscles.
Yeah. And
they did a good job, but I don't think there was any injuries or anything. We didn't hear anything coming out of those games, but they're setting up this week.
When you talk about game of the years, Gary.
Yeah, coming up.
When you talked about game of the year, it is next Friday night at Donald Gardner Stadium. What a showdown that looms, and a rematch for the rematch of the state championship will be 30 seconds down the road from us.
And that place is going to be rocking. It's going to be rocking and rolling. Cecilia's going to travel. You know that.
They're going to pack it out.
They're going to pack out Donald Gardner Stadium. It's going to be unbelievable.
It's going to be a sea of green. It's going to be a sea of orange.
And a lot of people in the middle.
And I can't wait. I can't wait to see this score Friday night.
Oh, I think it's going to be amazing.
The state championship rematch at Donald Gardner for the district title. Opelousas rolled 48-0 over Livonia. Cecilia rolled 71-0 over Beauchesne. Two different ball clubs, Gary.
Most definitely.
Cecilia can score and score for days with their explosive offense. Yeah. Opelousas, they can play smash mouth football, and if they want to get in a track meet with you, they very well got the offense for it.
Yeah, they got it. They got these two teams have what.
Do we go back to Opelousas' defense versus Cecilia's offense Friday night?
Well, I'll even go back further. Look at last year. Last year, Cecilia wins the district championship, OHS wins the state championship. This year, it could be the exact same thing or different.
Yep.
Flip it. I don't know. But I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to be a good game.
But week 8, my friend, we got some We got some games already shaping up to be mega games. You got the Gina Bunky rematch.
Yes.
You got the Opelousas Cecilia rematch.
Yes.
You got the Catholic Appointed Peace St. Ed's rematch.
Oh, yes.
You got all kind of matchups shaping up next week, and I'm here for it.
Oh, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to set it up, go, and like I said, we talked last night. I said there's some games that I'm getting people to take my place here, so I can go. I won't lie to you,
Gary,
it's gonna be unbelievable.
We will announce where we're heading at the end of the show.
Yes.
Or do you want to do it right now? Do you want to do games of the night right now? Which format you want to do?
Let's do what we do, and then we'll do that.
Let's do it. All right. Gary, games of the night, games of the week, however you want to call it. What stood out to you that you consider games of the night?
Okay, games of the week, games of the night. I'll give it to you. These were nail biters. Iota over Westlake, 28-27.
Oh, what a game!
That was a game of the week. Holy Cross over Warren Easton, 23-21.
Yeah.
And White Castle over North Iberville, 44-43.
What a win! What three good ones right there?
3 games that were like nail biters.
You probably could have picked out
I could have picked a few more.
10 to 15 different ones.
Yeah, I picked out a few more.
Yeah, I got 5 for you, my friend.
Mm-hmm.
5 that really stood out to me. First off, Iota over Westlake Thursday night. Blocked extra point, 4th down stop. This was a game that you had to be there to see it up in person to really feel the energy in the building. Game of the night.
Yeah.
Lafayette Renaissance over Welsh. Shootout, 2-point win for Lafayette Renaissance. Gutsy effort from Welsh. Game of the night.
Right.
White Castle over North Iberville in a shootout, 1-point victory on the road. White Castle stuns undefeated North Iberville.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Gary, how about Neville over Ruston earns game of the night? Mm-hmm. Lutcher over E.D. White earns my 5th game of the night.
That's awesome. I think it will.
5 good ones.
Yes, 5 good ones.
Gary, when we talk about upsets of the night, and it could be anywhere between you didn't expect someone to beat somebody or they were winless and they knocked off a team with a lot of wins. It could be anywhere in that range, but when you start thinking about upsets of the night, who's yours?
Upsets of the night, I'm going to tell you, I think these are upsets but not upsets. I'm going to just kind of go. I think Eunice over LaGrange to pick up their first win, I think that's an upset because LaGrange had a
5-1.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Notre Dame over Lafayette Christian. Nobody saw that coming.
Who saw that one coming?
No, nobody. The Notre Dame coaches and players did. Mm-hmm. So I think that was an upset. And this is an upset, but it's not an upset. Neville over Ruston. I think
they did go into Ruston.
They went into
Ruston.
Ruston.
Knocked off the state's longest winning streak.
Right.
I'm with it.
I'm with it. So that's my 3.
Okay.
Those right there.
Gary, I got 2 out of the 3.
Okay.
First off, I got 2 out of your 3.
Okay, that's fine.
First off, Notre Dame over LCA. Who saw it coming?
Yeah.
LCA has owned this series when these 2 teams have clashed in district play. And Gary, I got to give it.
Right.
And they went into Knight Stadium to do it.
Yeah, most definitely. I agree.
How about White Castle going on the road, knocking off an undefeated number 2 ranked team in the state, North Iberville.
Right. I agree.
And then Eunice over a 5-1 LaGrange. For the record's purpose, I'm giving it upset of the night.
Okay.
Gary, it's going to be tough to narrow down UTL's statement wins of the week, but we have to try here to figure out who we think deserve statement wins of the week.
Right. Okay. My statement wins, they cover a little bit, basically the whole state. John Curtis over Brother Martin. Curtis is still Curtis.
Okay. Good defense this year.
Good defense. I think that was a statement win for showing that, hey, we're still relevant. Although, I don't think they've ever been irrelevant, but I think Curtis is always going to be relevant. This year, I think that was a statement win.
Okay.
The next one, West Monroe or Washita Parish.
Okay.
West Monroe, you know, in that
So
district
you're
up
going
there.
with two heavy hitters
Yeah,
out the gate.
I'm going with the two heavy
You're
hitters
going with
right
two
there.
heavy hitters to try to say they
Right.
made statements to say, don't forget about us.
Correct, that's
Okay,
it.
okay.
And the next one is Destrehan over Captain Shreve. Destrehan was kind of like forgotten a little bit because they weren't as good as they were last year. And Captain Shreve was on a high. Well, Destrehan Captain Shreve went into Destrehan and just they found out who they were.
Okay.
So that's my 3 statement wins.
Gary, I'm going to go a complete different route as you for statement wins,
All right,
okay?
that's fine.
Hear me out.
Okay.
Neville over Ruston sent a statement across the entire state of Louisiana.
Okay.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, I agree. I agree.
You put exclamation points
Mhm.
by that statement, wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, I agree with you,
Yeah.
100%.
Notre Dame going into LCA, kicking the door down and saying Coach Louis Cook is still around,
Yes.
earns statement win of the week.
Mhm.
Catholic of Baton Rouge knocking off Central of Baton Rouge when all the talk of the town was Central of Baton Rouge is taking over, right? They're taking over. They own Baton Rouge now. Well, you still have to go prove it on the field. And Catholic of Baton Rouge makes a statement. They still run Baton Rouge.
It still goes through Catholic. Yes.
Harry, Kaplan dominating Southern Lab earns statement win of the week for myself.
I agree. That's actually a good pick.
And when we talk about dominating an opponent, statement win Jennings on the road, rolling over South Beauregard by 50 plus. That was a 1-loss South Bow that was hosting Jennings.
Correct. I agree. I agree with all of that. All of that.
Gary, time to talk a little helmet stickers. When you're giving away helmet stickers, my friend, you think about the teams that really had big time wins or coaches or players in that fashion. But when you start looking at these programs, in your opinion, who earns UTL helmet stickers this week?
I got 3. You know, I stick with the number 3. I got VC
Vermilion Catholic.
making their team is just
Got
dominating.
undefeated, so they get it better.
Yeah.
Okay.
Notre Dame,
Pios.
what they did,
They
Pios, and then one of my favorite teams, Acadiana.
Reckon Rams.
The Reckon
Fear the Rams.
Fear the Rams. It's fear the beer and fear the pass, so we're just going to say fear the Rams.
Yes.
That's it. Fear the Rams this year.
Like it, Gary.
That's it.
You ready for my helmet
Yes,
stickers?
man. Give me some.
First off, Thursday night, great hospitality, even better ball game. Iota with a big win live on Under the Lights. They earn first helmet stickers honors. Second helmet stickers, we go back to Friday night. Explosive offense and great hospitality there. Mr. Marcus Gradney fed us. St. Ed's Blue Jays, Friday night, big win. They earn helmet sticker number 2. I will go to Vermilion Catholic route also for a helmet sticker because they earn Holly's Lock of the Week this week. So Holly's Lock of the Week goes to Vermilion Catholic and they get helmet sticker number 3.
Right.
Helmet sticker number 4 for their first win of the season. It goes to the Eunice Bobcats. Congratulations. They get that monkey off their back. A lot of close wins, close losses this year. And they get win number 1. They earn helmet sticker this week.
Mm-hmm.
And my 5th and final helmet sticker of the week, Gary, it goes to the Ville Platte Bulldogs, picking up their first win of the season. And the new head football coach over there gets his first career win. Ville Platte earns helmet sticker number 5.
Great choices, Jordy. Great choices. Couldn't agree with them. Myself, I think that's all good picks. I think we both had really good picks. But let me tell you something, man. It's getting towards the end of the season. We're going to see a lot more exciting games, and we're going to have a lot more hard decisions to pick these games coming up, man. It is going to be awesome. I'm just excited.
Yeah.
I'm just excited, man.
So let me get you even more excited for what's in store to come.
I know, man. I'm ready.
Let's go into the future. Let's take a look at the early slate of games in Week 8. Let's get Gary excited. Let's get everyone that's watching right now excited. Gary, next week, Notre Dame at Jennings. Week 8, my friend. What a game that's going to be.
That's going to be an exciting ball game. I think it's going to be two powerhouses going at it. Which team will win? We'll see.
Yeah, North Riverville with their one loss will go into a really good Ascension Catholic one-loss team next week. Basil, Elton, bragging rights, Battle of the Bayou Trophy on the line next week. Great rivalry there. Gary, Warren Easton, Edna Core. Great rivalry.
Wow.
Will the game live up to the hype that it is surrounded by year in and year out?
It always does, Jordy. 90% of the time it does. I'm going to tell you that right now. Woo.
One loss Ferry Day at one loss Oak Grove next week.
That's going to be good, too. Wow. That's going to be a good game.
Gary, you said John Curtis. They're peaking right now. Well, now they have to welcome in Jesuit next week.
That is going to be a
Jesuit,
dogfight.
John Curtis, dogfight.
Yes.
For the ages.
You're right.
Catholic New Iberia, Laurelville, big rivalry between the two teams. Throw the records out the building.
Yeah. Doesn't matter what the records are. They fight. They scrap it.
Mangum with their two losses, but two respectful losses along the way. They get undefeated Ouachita Christian. First time this season will Ouachita Christian be tested.
Ouachita Christian is always a great ball club, and that's going to be a good game.
Gary, more for you. How about Ouachita Parish at Neville next week?
That is going to be good.
Turlings at East Ascension. Turlings back on the field after a bye week here. I mean,
Right.
a bye week that resulted in a forfeit.
Forfeit, correct.
Kentwood and Southern Lab. Great ball games when those two teams
The
fly.
Roos and the Kittens. Oh my gosh.
Yes. Holy Cross and Archbishop Rummel next week.
All right.
St. Aug and Brother Martin next week.
Yeah.
What else we got? How about undefeated Jeanerette at undefeated Covington Christian next week?
Wow, that is
We'll
going to
find
be an
out how
awesome
good
ball
both.
game.
We'll find out how good both teams are, Gary.
Yes, most definitely.
What else we got? Bunkie at Gina next week. We saw how good that one was last year.
Tell you what, if you're able to see it, go. These two schools, their atmosphere at home, whether it's at Bunkie or whether it's at Gina, is amazing. So, if you can go and experience it. You'll love it. Or you can see who's streaming it or whatever. You can watch it, but it's an amazing place. Both places are amazing.
Gary, how about Ruston at Alexandria next week?
You talk about defense and offense.
Two heavyweights will clash next week.
Wow. Which will the defense stop the offense? That's basically what you're going to try to figure out right there.
You may very well see this one both in the 40s.
Yes.
You got an undefeated St. Ed's, an undefeated Catholic upon compete next week. Huge district implications on the line.
Most definitely, yes.
Gary, I got one more for you.
Oh.
Next week, state championship rematch. Cecilia, Opelousas. What a dandy next week will be.
Right down the street. It's going to be awesome. The atmosphere is going to be great.
How good is week 8?
Oh, man, I can't wait to hear that. I mean, it's just going to be
How about a
rocking
bonus
and
game?
rolling. Yeah.
Let's give it a bonus game.
Yeah.
You got Westlake, Lake Charles College Prep also next week.
Yes, sure do. Yes.
Gary, Coach Neil Martin checks into the chat at his time. He wants to give a shout out to their new kicker. We actually did.
Talk about him
Earlier in the show, we made sure to send some love his way. So if you want to go back and rewatch that one, but we'll read off this comment here. Brand new kicker, 8th grader that plays soccer and never kicked a football prior to last Tuesday. He went 9 for 9 on Friday. His name is Alex Espinosa. Great kid, and they look forward to watching him develop as a kicker. Phenomenal story.
That is awesome. You know, special teams are special because they are a big part of the game. That's why whenever you see a team lose by 1 or 2 points, it's usually because of missed extra points and stuff. This is important. So congratulations, man. that is something that's very special.
Gary, let's announce where we're headed for week 8 at this time.
Let's do it, man. I'm
Wanna do it?
excited. Let's do it.
Let's put Thursday's helmets on the table.
Let's do it. Let's put them
Right.
back.
Won't have to go far next week, Gary. We won't have to go far next week. It will be Oakdale at Port Barry next week, my friend.
That is going to be awesome. I think that's going to be a good ball game. You know, you got Port Barry finally starting to get healthy, and you know,
The
Oakdale,
Russian
the Russian attack of Oakdale. Yes, that's going to be a good ball game. I think it's going to be a dog fight, and I'm excited.
Happy Thursday. Happy UTL Week 8 live on Under the Lights. Oakdale Warriors at the Port Barry Red Devils. Can't wait. You coming?
I might. I may well. It depends on if I can get somebody to take my place.
Gary,
Yep.
let's announce Week 8 Friday night.
That's going to be an exciting ball game. Week 8, Friday night. I'm excited, and you're going to be excited too, guys.
Gary, Week 8 Friday night, the rematch of all rematches, the game of all games. Ladies and gentlemen, live on Under the Lights Friday night from Donald Gardner Stadium. Get the gumbo ready because UTL will be in the building to bring you Opelousas, the defending state champions, against Cecilia, the state runner-ups. Part 2. Gary, you ain't missing that one.
I ain't missing out. I'm gonna be there. If the good Lord is gonna let me be somewhere, it's gonna be here on Friday night. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm excited. I think this is gonna be the matchup of the year in this area. Man, I'm so excited. You know, it's gonna be Cecilia, OHS. Look out.
Diesel Solari, Zach Malvo, get ready. 2 quarterbacks gonna put on an absolute show. Standing room only.
Oh God.
Get there early.
If you want to see a ball game and you're not doing anything or your team is not there, look, you know, tune in to us.
Don't watch us.
Yeah, tune in.
Don't watch us. Come
Or
to the stadium.
come to the stadium
Come
and
to the
fill it up.
stadium.
This is going to be awesome.
You know why? We're always available on replay.
Yeah, we can always have. But let me tell you something. That's going to be one of the best games you're going to see all year. Barring injury or anything crazy like that, this is going to be 2 district rivals that are competing for the second year. Last year, district champion was Cecilia.
Gary, we covered this
Yeah.
matchup 2 years ago.
Yeah.
It came down to a 4th down stop at Donald Gardner, and that was OHS's first district title in quite some
Right.
time. And then last year, Cecilia gets the big win at their field,
Right.
wins back the district title. Well, part 3, here we go.
That's what I'm saying. So you're looking at we may well see both of these teams back in New Orleans. It's a possibility, and boy, would it be awesome.
Could very well see them in the playoffs late. Could see them in the state championship. But one thing's for sure, we will see an early matchup here in Week 8.
Yeah. I think this is going to be exciting. It's going to be exciting for us. I know that. We're going to be excited about it. I know you're going to be excited about it. But let me tell you something. I'm excited for the whole week. I know this game,
The build-up's going to be
the build
insane.
is going to be unbelievable. And you know what? We're going to talk more about it Wednesday. It's going
Right.
to be crazy.
Gary, let's get on out of here at
Yes,
this
sir.
time, my friend. We close the door on Week 7, and we officially open Week 8. And when we open Week 8, and you look at that matchup, well, you better be on your P's and Q's. You better bring your lunchbox, because Week 8 shaping up to be the best week so far.
Right.
Final words, my friend.
It keeps getting better and better, guys. Congratulations to all the winners. Congratulations to all the teams that are still playing, that are working hard. Remember, stay healthy, do what you got to do, and leave it all on the field for you seniors.
Gary, phenomenal job, my friend. Eventually, we will get back to routine and get back on a Friday night. Very well could be this Friday night, being
'cause
we're that close. Could we see a recap show Friday night after the game? Very possible, being
Most
we don't
definitely.
have a long road trip.
Yeah, I mean, 10 minutes.
No, not even 10, 30 seconds.
Yeah, well, actually, yeah, but I mean, once you leave,
Yeah.
got to tear down everything.
Yeah, 30 seconds from the studio to the stadium. So it's going to be some fun. I already heard gumbo chili is on the menu for the tailgate, and we might have to get down to Port Barry early and do some tailgating ourselves
Yes.
on
yes.
Thursday night.
Most definitely. Most definitely.
Gary, for myself, Mr. Gary Swallow from Gary Swallow's Taekwondo Martial Arts Building here in Opelousas, Louisiana. Any kiddos out there want to sign up, come see my good friend here any day of the week. Don't be shy. Come in, talk to the great man, and he'll get you signed up in a jiffy.
Yep.
But as we say goodbye for now, enjoy the rest of your evening, ladies and gentlemen. And week 8 is here. We'll see you Wednesday night at the Pick'em Show. Thursday, Oakdale, Port Barry. Friday, Cecilia, Opelousas. Gary, we sign off for now. God bless each and every one of you. God bless my friend Gary Swallow. God bless high school football. And forever, UTL.